Hi guys, Jasfran here. Just going to give you a quick shortish video anyway on excuse me, the trending 5-minute pinks / super pinks. These, it's a really easy strategy to follow. There are probably two really easy beginner strategies to follow, this and the Nico, which I believe Benny's done a video of. You can watch that after as well. The first thing I do when I come in the room is I want to synchronize my clock. You can see my clock here. I'll just pull it over here next to MT's. Next to the room clock, I want this to synchronize, the second hands to synchronize, basically be as close as possible. Okay? And to do that with Windows 7 anyway, this is what you do. I'm not sure how you do it, guys, with Windows 10 or on a Mac, but if you're serious about trading, then I suggest you find out. Okay, there is a drop down menu here, and you use whichever one gets you as close to the room clock. Alright, update now. The clock was successfully synchronized. Okay, that's done. Alright, you can move your clock out of the way. Okay. Excuse me guys, I'm full of a cold. Basically these are trending 5-minute signals, right? These pinks, as you can see here, the red pink is a super, this pink works as well. These are 15-minute signals, but again, these super pinks work superbly well, especially with the trend. Okay, so we're going to go through it. I've got to be nice and slow, guys, because this is basically for beginners, and anyone coming into the room is going to need to know, kind of chart layout, how momentum works. There is a short video on momentum, guys, only about 2 minutes. I suggest you watch it if you don't understand how it works. So let's get to the chart layout. Right, well, these charts here are the daily charts. These ones here are the 4-hour charts. These charts are the 1-hour charts. Then you have the 15-minute charts along the bottom, 5-minute charts in the middle, and these blue charts are basically, you can consider them 1 to 2 minute charts. Okay, but we call them the blue charts for obvious reasons. Okay. What else can we do? Well, another thing to just mention is that these are the GU here. You can always tell, they are they do have the name in the corner, left hand corner of each chart. GU, EU, UJ, UCAD. Okay, so there, GU, and these here. So how do we identify a trend? Well, the easiest way, and one that I've used basically since we've had these long-term charts on here, is off the 4-hour and the 1-hour. Alright, I look for where the orange line is and in which direction it's heading. You can see it's above this yellow line here, but it's heading down. Alright, so it's a downtrend. It's a downtrend. You can quite clearly see it's going down. The road is open to the downside. On the 4-hour chart, yes, you had this big move up here, which was an uptrend, but look at the direction of the orange line. It's pointing down now, and indeed price action has dropped below the yellow line, so it's a downtrend. Okay, what you have to remember, guys, is that this is a scalping strategy, so you can use these to pick the trend. You can even use the 15-minute, as I'll show you in a moment. I never really mather too much about the daily unless it's got, I'm looking at LT trades. As I say, this is a simple trending strategy, so we won't go into the dailies. Okay, right, so then you look on the 15-minute chart. You can quite clearly see that the orange line is pointing down, and again on the 5-minute chart, the orange line is pointing down. Okay, right, so we now have identified the trend as down. So what we are looking for is 5-minute pinks or super pinks, as this is here, right, to the downside. Okay, now you can see quite clearly there that there are 2, and 2 have won. Those 2 won. Alright, now I can also tell you that there's probably 15-16 candles there, and there are actually 30 candles in the 2.5-hour session. Okay, so you've got another 15-16 candles up here, and I can pretty much assure you that there was at least one more of these signals pointing down. Alright, probably two actually, judging off the 15-minute chart. Okay, so when you see one of these appear, it might start as a small red like this one here and then turn to a red pink, right? Okay, fine, but to enter the trade you need these two boxes here, which are the momentum boxes, to flash the colour that you need. So we're going down, so you need red. If we were going up, as EU is showing there, you would need green, and you can see that's what we mean by flashing. Alright, I know it's only 1 and 1, but look, still it's showing you there that it's going up on the flash. Alright, so you need those to flash red. You can see the last time it flashed with the number there quite high. Okay, and that's what happened there. Alright, winning trade. Now I often get asked, when do you take the trade? Some people wait for this candle to close so that this signal is imprinted. I've always been a believer that momentum is the market. It is, it is momentum basically. So if these are flashing red, I'm not going to hang about, especially with a trend. I'm not going to hang about. I'm going to get in, and obviously he had a nice winning trade there. Alright, so let's look at the EU. And the EU is a bit messier as far as picking the trend was concerned. Yes, it's down, but this orange line on the 1 hour is pointing up a bit. So you kind of say it's going sideways. MT gives his own bias at the beginning of every session, and there are sometimes he'll say, oh, it'll go both ways, and I can assure you that he would have said the EU went both ways on this. Yes, the 4 hours are downtrending, but you cannot ignore these signals here. There's one behind the bubble there, and you can see what's happened. 4 hour red, pink, super pink, and it shot up to this the orange line. Alright, before reacting again. Okay, so let's have a look at the 15-minute. Yeah, look, it's flat. It's flat. The orange line has gone flat against the yellow. So effectively, you could have gone both ways on this, and that, as shown on the 5-minute chart, you can see quite clearly there that that 5-minute super pink up went all the way up to here. Okay, and then you got a 5-minute super pink down, which I know somebody said in the room, oh, it looks like it's failed in it because you didn't get a big move down here, but you have got a big move because that is a big wick. So that effectively won quite easily, and even if it didn't lose, so you were still in again with another one there. So if MT says you can go both ways, that's entirely up to you. I tend to stick to the trending trade, so I would have just taken the two downs here. Again, there's only 13 or so, 14 candles there, so you had another 15, 16 candles up here, 5-minute candles up here, which could probably, judging by this here, and this here, would have been at least 1 or 2 more. So already, just on these 5-minute trending super pinks, you would have had 3 or 4 successful trades on the GU, 3 or 4 successful trades on the EU. Okay, again, the entry is with flashing momentum, and that is a perfect example of flashing momentum. Although it's not big, sometimes these shoot up at 9 and that flies up. But these still, this is the entry. You don't enter the trade until momentum is on your side. You see it flash your colour, that's when you enter. Alright, let's have a look at the UJ. Again, 1 hour, you can see quite clearly the orange line is going up there. It's way above the yellow line here, and yes, it's an uptrend. Although you had this reversal here, it doesn't matter, look, that's going up. Okay, again the 4 hour, look, very steep up. Yes, you had the reversal, but trends took over again. Alright, so uptrend. There was the move on the 15-minute, the reversal move, and then what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of 9 15-minute candles there, 7 are green. Okay, which means it's gone up. There's a super red pink 5-minute signal, clear winner. There would have been, again, possibly 2 or 3 more, judging by these big candles here, 2 or 3 more. So again, you're looking at 3 or 4 wins on the UJ to the trending pinks. Just one thing I want to mention here. This is, in fact, I'll come back to that in a minute. Let me just show you again on the UCAD. Right, let's have a look at this on the UCAD. Yes, it went down here, but then up. Look, the orange line is turning up again. You're way above the yellow line. That's an uptrend. Okay, great super pink there. 3 candles worth of up movement. Again, 4 hour definitely up, and look at this here, another super on the current 4 hour candle. That's huge. I would not have gone against this setup. And of course you had the one on the daily now. That's basically what we call a 3-0 setup, and more fool you if you go against that for any reason. I just won't go against that. Okay, 15-minute, yes, it was below for a while here, but as you can see, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, there's 10 candles, 10 15-minute candles in a session, and you can see that what 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 of them are 7 or 8 of them are green. So you know they've gone up with the bias, with this trending bias. Okay, there's a 5-minute super pink. I think that's also a red yellow, and sometimes those red yellows fly, you know, and you can see there, that's, I can't quite see how many pips that's going up, guys, but that's a huge move, you know. And again, you would have had, judging, if you correlate that move with this 15-minute red here, right, imagine what this one did here. You know, you would have had at least 1 or 2 of these, again, a bit further down here. Alright, so you were talking 3 or 4 wins on that one. Alright, so there were 12 to 16 guaranteed trending winning trades there. Alright guys, again, you know, always wait for flashing momentum. Now there is one difference, guys, for those of you that don't know. We only have the one momentum box here for the UCAD. The one below it is oil. Now the reason we use oil is that when this is flashing green, this is flashing red. Basically, it's similar to how the DX, which is the USD, by the way, part of each pair, how that reacts. You know, it's the opposite to it. Oil is a big driver of the UCAD. Okay. Yes, I mentioned the momentum entry, and say yes. Let me just give you a bit of a warning about the dangers of reversals. Okay. Some people see a super pink and they think, yeah, I'm going to have it, you know, and well, it's dangerous, guys. I'll give you some examples. Here, a GU against the trend failed. You would have lost. You would have lost that trade. You'd still be losing now, and it would have lost. Okay, that super pink against the trend didn't work. All right. On the UJ here, there's one failed. There's one failed. There's one might have won, touch and go, but in my opinion failed. Alright, and if you'd have taken that one and you were still in now, you were, you know, quite a lot of pips down. Okay, that's because you're going against the trend. So that's the danger of it. Just one other thing, if you take a signal with the trend and it looks as though, and as soon as you take the trade, let's say a signal against you turns up on the very next candle, because you're with the trend, the chances are that the trend will, at a later stage, reassert itself. I've heard stories of members in the room that have, you know, won trades either later the night after the session's closed. I personally had one win at 5:30 AM, you know, which was like 12 and a half hours after the session closed, when that went at 30 odd pips against me and eventually won. And I know of one member in particular who absolutely stuck dogged to it, and really, it was a really dangerous trade. I won't go into it too much, but it went 109 pips against her, and on the Monday or the Tuesday after the weekend, it won, and won her £1,000. So you know, that's the trend for you guys. You know, there's always a very, very good chance that it'll reassert itself and win your trade for you. That's why you're better trading with the trend. All right. Okay. Now the other thing is, I think I've covered everything, apart from the fact that, you know, there are plenty of members in the room who are MTs. Basically, the MT title means we are prepared to help any newbies out. You can ask your questions of them. Obviously, there's also the master trader who will answer your questions as well. But I think if you're absolutely brand new to this, then I think the best thing you can do is take, you know, 2, 3, 4 days, whatever, you know, watch what's going on, get yourself a demo account, ask MT for the links for the demo accounts, and basically just, you know, let it sink in first. It's no good you asking on the first day, oh, what does a white arrow do? What does a blue arrow do? You know, the MTs are not going to answer that if you're not prepared to listen. And at the end of the day, guys, we are here to make money, so, you know, think of it along that lines. Just one more thing, I've got another strategy which I think is great for beginners as well. It's called the Nico strategy. You should watch that after you've watched this, or, you know, vice versa. You should also watch the 2-minute momentum video that I did. It just explains how momentum works, and there's some pretty good examples in that. And what's the Nico strategy? I think Benny did that one. I'm not sure why the actor in the room, you know, Nico, got stage fright, but anyway. Okay, so I think I've covered everything there, guys. Any questions? As I say, just ask the MTs. Okay, happy trading.